Hey guys, welcome back to In Customs. So I've just been doing a stencil out on the table of this wheel arch. I'm going to get cracking straight into this. Super excited. I finally got some sheet steel in. There's a few other things coming this week that I'll be super excited to show you guys. But yeah, I'm going to get cracking into this. It's been my first wheel arch I ever made. So I'm literally going to be winging the whole thing. And yeah, once I do get this shape all nice and shaped, then I'll cut this thing out, fit it in, weld it up, move on to this bottom rear section here. There's possibly, once this is cut out, I will have to be doing some inside work in that tub on the inside. It's a little bit tricky to do things vice versa, so cut this out. I've got all that room in there to get that inside done. And we'll go from there. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Please hit the subscribe button, give us a comment, let me know what you guys think. Appreciate it. Guys, this is looking really good so far. I'm pretty happy with these results. I haven't even really touched the surface of what work needs to be done on this thing, but I'm super excited about this natural curve that's coming into play here. It's actually looking really good. It's gonna really help fitting this properly. Yeah, I thought I might have to have had, a little bit of folding myself, but just folding this lip over starts to take its shape, and it's bringing these sides back down, which I'm really happy about. So I'm going to keep smacking away at this, get it all looking relatively like this. Then I'll get onto the planishing hammer and start smoothing out. Focused on this lip first of all, and then do a quick fit on the car, and possibly mark out some lines where I need to start folding the opposite way. Alright guys, here it is. Dun 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 dun. Yep, still way off. So what I'm going to do, what I am thinking about doing is actually cutting this out, getting this edge welded up on the top. I'm close. There's close, but it still needs to be manipulated. I think on the car, that's going to hold everything in place by putting a few spot welds around the top. And what I might do is start welding from the center here and just do one side at a time. Get a couple spot welds up here and then slowly push that back, get that welded up. As for trimming it, I possibly could trim this bottom section. I just don't want to go too short. That would be a pain in the ass. But I'm super happy with the back. The back's looking really good. This is where I focused on mostly, this back section. And that's really come out really nice. Alright, so what I've done there, just put a nice thick Sharpie line across there. Now I'm just going to scribe it. Scribe through the Sharpie line. I probably could have put the Sharpie on there before I clamped that on. Might be a little bit easier, but it should still work pretty good. I'm just going to grab a different scribe. Better yet, I'm just going to use a blade. Nice bit of rust. I reckon that is a pretty good fit. One in the center here, one down the guts down here. Alright, so this is actually looking really good. Happy with it. I've done quite a bit of trimming, as you've seen. A lot of test fitting and spending the time to get this thing to fit pretty snug. I just had the verniers with a newer panel and measured from the bottom of this lip to the center of that body line. That's going to give me a good indication. So a panel that's not cut up or anything, and make it identical to that. And I'm pretty sweet. So I reckon it's time to get a couple spot welds on here, a little bit of hammer work, and try and fit this thing. Alright guys, well, it's a new day. I've got myself a fresh coffee. Wheel arch is looking really good. I'm happy with it so far. It's really thin at the top here. I'm a little bit nervous about welding that one. I spent a little bit of time yesterday afternoon getting the inside of the arch out. So I've got all this room to start hammer and dollying this out nice and flat. It's gonna be a very tedious sort of work, no matter what you do. Now, in that short time, I managed to get some mail in the post box, which I'm super excited about to show you guys. So I'm gonna go and open that box and give you guys a look at that. All right, here it is. Now, this package contains something that I have been wanting for a very long time, just to buy myself and help myself do this sort of metal work. It's a nice new set of hammers. Super excited to open them up, give them a look. Now, I went online to Forbes Machinery and bought their set. So I'm super excited. I got them for a good price. They had a 3-day sale on. If you guys didn't get to that one, I'm sure they'll have a new sale soon. Check them out here in Forbes Machinery. They do sell some wicked automotive stuff. So I'm gonna get this thing opened and we'll check it out. There it is. Got a nice new hammer set for this panel work that I'm trying to achieve. Overall, let's talk about the product. So I've noticed the handles are a lot bigger than I'm used to, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Not really a challenge, but just getting used to it again. They're a lot lighter than the hammer I've been using. I've been using this old hammer for at least 8 years. It's just one hammer too. And this thing has definitely gave me a lot of workout. It's a lot heavier on the top end, but a shorter handle, and a little bit skinnier, so it's a little bit nicer, I must say that. But I think I'm going to get used to these pretty quick because they are light, very light up the top. There are a couple of things I'm probably not too happy about. Is, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is not centered really well. So that's a bit of annoying. Probably not a hammer I'm going to use that much actually. It's got some nice sharp edges on it that possibly put some damage in there. I might use this one a little bit. Overall, pretty happy with it. The finish on the surface of these hammers probably could have been a little bit better, and nice and polished. The finish is pretty good, pretty smooth, pretty straight. This is probably going to be one of my most used hammers, this one. It's very similar to that. It's got that nice point on the back. It is still a lot lighter than this one, so it's definitely going to be a little bit nicer to use, not so heavy on the wrist. Pretty happy with that one. Pretty happy. So I'm going to get straight into starting to polish this one up, because this is going to be my most used, I think. The rest can stay in this case. That's it, guys. They look good, they feel good. I'm super excited to use them. They definitely was a little bit tricky getting some of the factory scratches out. I'd say they've only polished it with 80 to, yeah, it's probably it could even be a 60 grit, but they've done it on one way. So I used a belt sander and just sanded them with a belt sander, it did put a few good decent scratches through them. That's all gone now, nice and smooth. There's probably a couple of little ones I'm really not fussed about on this, but the hammer came out brilliant. Absolutely stoked with that. So it's time to get them to use. There's a little bit of work to do on that wheel arch. Still got to weld it up. I'm going to go with my Sharpie and put those lines out, so I can get some nice even spacings across there with my welds. Then, yeah, we'll see what that turns out like. Let's get back into it, eh? just done a few little spot welds in areas that I missed. There's a couple of little pinholes there, tried to clean those up. There's still a few there that I'm not overly worried about at this stage. There will be a lot more welding going on down here and stuff like that. I just cut out this little section, put a little strip in there, welded it up. I'm ready to grind it off and show you guys the end result of this video. So appreciate all you guys watching. Let me know what you think. Hit that subscribe button. Cheers guys, I'll catch you all in the next one.